Hey, welcome to the Virtually Speaking podcast. We are in Palo Alto, continuing our coverage of VCF 9. And John, we talked about core storage. You know, we had William Lamb in, diving deep into all the components and everything. And now I think it's time to talk some advanced services.
I think this is a good place to go, but you know, Pete, I feel like we also just need to say the word AI a lot. Like it just makes everything better in the world if you say AI. So we should try that.
Yeah, I would say the most appealing advanced service, in my personal opinion, is definitely VMware Private AI, or Private AI in general. The conversation is always great, and who better to talk to about Private AI or even AI in general is Chris Wolf. Chris, welcome back.
No, it's always good to be here. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, so this is obviously a VCF podcast this week, but I really want to talk to you about even more than that, just AI in general. I'd love to talk about the momentum. There's been a lot of momentum. I mean, everybody's hearing about it, but even there's a lot of new announcements to talk about. So how has it been for you lately?
Wow, it's been busy. Like we are, we had the announcement from Hawk recently about our customer momentum, and just the interest that we're seeing across the board has been just tremendous. So it's like, I don't worry about sales of our platform at all anymore. Right now, our bigger worry is delivery, because we're having so much demand now. It's just getting our customers enabled and going. So it's been super exciting. I mean, we're seeing people land on use cases. We're seeing people take a realistic approach to AI. They really value our value proposition around privacy. You're seeing a lot more growth in open source as well. So it's a super exciting time for sure. We're not slowing down.
Yeah, and I know you talk to customers a lot. What are the key use cases people even talk about?
On the surface, like the most basic one would be GPU as a service. Like I have multiple lines of business. They need to be, we say GPU as a service, but sometimes that does it a disservice. And the reason is AI, it's like I can serve a GPU, but if this 70 billion parameter model has a 10 gigabit network adapter, you're not going to be having successful users, right? So the value we're providing is being able to intelligently provision, the correct amount of network I/O, data I/O, CPU, memory, right? Load balance that at scale. That's the secret sauce, and that's what's driving a lot of the enthusiasm. So I would start there as a use case. The other 2 or 3 I would highlight would be the back office contact center is something that's really popping up a lot, because you're seeing efficiency gains between like 10 and like 35%. Like you're able to close tickets so much faster. Now imagine like you guys are both senior, right? Imagine if you had to every couple months take some junior person who's just starting under your wing, right? Now all the value that you are providing to helping drive support, you're slowed down dramatically, right? Because you're training somebody. So with generative AI, right, even new employees can come up to speed like so much faster, and you can keep your senior people doing more senior level work, just jumping in every now and then.
And those edge cases can get exposed. Hey, it looks like this is a niche thing that happens once every 3 months, and the new person's not going to be aware of that. They'll be able to surface that information.
No, exactly. So the call center is huge, and then by keeping the chatbot back office, you're de-risking the whole thing, right? I still have a human in the loop between me and my customer. Yeah. Right? And then I can measure the business results, like clear use case, lots of value there. Document search. Like we've been talking about enterprise search, right? Like our entire careers, it feels like. Yeah. And now it's like, but hey, we know you're not satisfied with search now, but this Gen AI thing is going to make it so much better. And it really does. Like there's some cases, people are saying 50, 60% productivity gains depending on their line of work, right? Huge value. Even within VCF, we're now rolling out, we have more and more people using an AI code assistant to help with software development. Oh, wow. Like even like test case automation is like huge value compared to the time that it takes, like our engineering teams to drive some of this. So those are some of the trends we're seeing, and definitely it's a good sign, because you're starting to see a maturity in a space where people are understanding what are some good use cases that I should put to play and go from there.
Okay, and we're not just saying the word chatbot over and over again when use case comes up. It looks like we're actually getting to real value here.
We're getting to real value. I had to do a panel actually the other week, and I deliberately made the panel a drinking game. And I said our panelists, because this panel was actually held at a distillery, and I said, look, I noticed that all of the panelists, they had a drink when they came in. So I told everybody sitting, I said, look, the panelists are going to forget that I'm even saying this, but if you say the word RAG, agent, or agentic AI, all of you have to take a drink. And sure enough, panelists, like within 10 minutes, they'd already forgotten and people were drinking. So,
Or they remembered.
or they remembered, exactly. No. Yeah, you can look at it both ways.
Yeah, so. That's great. Well, not too long ago, you were sharing there was a blog about an announcement at Microsoft. Can you share that?
Yeah, it's exciting. So if you rewind to November of last year, we had announced support for the Microsoft or the Azure AI Video Indexer on VCF, and that was a lot of value because all of our customers have lots of different video content. So imagine I want to be able to just do quick translations into new languages, right? Create documentation from the video content. Boom. I can do all this and run it on premises next to my private data or whatever I'm recording, and I can get immediate value. And that service in particular was designed to run on CPUs. So even if you have spare VCF capacity, you can just turn the thing on. Super easy. Last week we announced an expansion of the partnership to now include the Azure ML services. So like a good example would be we have a lot of retailers that are using VCF in their edge environments, like at their stores or distribution centers. So to be able to build and model like a computer vision application in the Azure cloud, right, and then be able to deploy it into your stores on VCF, again, tremendous value for the customers. So we're going to continue to do more and more with Microsoft, and I can tell you our customers are really excited about this. They like this now, like really you'd say it's the emergence of hybrid AI. Build and design in Azure, maybe there's some workloads I'm going to run there, but then there's others I'm going to run adjacent to my data. And we've seen this, one of our retailers, they run a computer vision app, and it would be impossible for them to scale if they were trying to send the data of 400 cameras in a store out to a cloud, right?
Yeah,
so you keep the
bandwidth and all the velo in the world isn't going to solve
it. Isn't going to solve that. So you have to have the compute inside the store. And we know this. We talked to one of their competitors, and their competitors tried it the other way.
Oh wow.
You know what happened? This is great. They tried it that way. They rolled out the service, and they created their own denial of service attack. They were having point-of-sale system outages, so they couldn't process credit card transactions because of all the video content.
Prioritization. Yeah, someone needs some SD-WAN, but that's fun.
Yeah, we have a better way to do that.
Well, we're here for VCF 9. We've only got you for a little while, but I'm curious, what are some of your favorite features out of VCF 9 that people can look forward to?
Oh, man. There's a lot. So full support for VLLM as the de facto open source inference engine. That's got a lot of traction with customers, and it's something that NVIDIA uses as well. Another one would be, I think a lot of our VI admins are going to care about too, is we're introducing an API gateway that has an OpenAI compatible API as the front end. So for your teams that are like, you know what, I just want to use an OpenAI API, right, and manage my applications, we have that too. That's really going to matter, I think, for a lot of folks. And then you may be thinking, well, what about like demand and performance? We're able to do things like enforce token rate limiting now for your different AI models, right? So as we're scaling
one developer isn't just going to brick all my CPUs.
Exactly, noisy neighbor is a real issue. So that's in the platform. We're introducing a data indexing and retrieval service. So now, like the challenge with RAG in general is not just how do I get the data that the model can start to interact with, right? But then what is the frequency that I want to refresh the data? Because you have to keep it current, right?
Absolutely, that's the point.
So that's easy. That's a simple policy. I can set my refresh to whatever I desire it to be. We have an AI agent builder as well, right? Everybody's talking about agents. Mm-hmm. And this is something I want to do actually at Explore this year, is I think it's a great hackathon concept. Because if you're a VMware admin, think about all the different data collection tasks that you have, right, or things that you're looking for, right? So to be able to build an agent that can go and do some of this using our agent builder, right? Show us what you got. Like, I'm really curious to see what our community is gonna be able to use this tool and do with it.
On the infrastructure side. So yeah, instead of vibe coding, we're gonna vibe infrastructure. I like this, so.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so let your lines of business play with it too, but I'm really curious what's gonna happen on the infrastructure side. I think it's pretty exciting once our folks start getting their hands on it. The other thing that's now new in VCF 9 is going to be our vGPU, reservations. And why that matters is today when you think about load balancing, like your different AI applications, it's kind of random and accidental. Meaning that it's not just about access to the GPU, but like take an NVIDIA H100, right? It has 80 gigs of memory. So if I'm using vGPU and I'm partitioning out that card, I don't want just like one model, like somebody just randomly takes up, say, 60, but then I had another 40 gig application, and now I don't have a GPU for it to run on.
Just waste it.
It's completely accidental. So now what we allow you to do is create these vGPU profiles so that I can be very intentional in how I'm carving out capacity, and then we can interact with that and load balance appropriately. So,
so is it just on the stacking and placement, or is there also like ability to move that between GPUs or?
Yeah, no, it's a placement, but where we're taking this is with DRS so that I can fully load balance across my clusters. So I have awareness and context of GPU, network, storage, et cetera. So that's and also
there's so many different bottlenecks. Figure out which is the most expensive.
There's so many different bottlenecks. So what you'll see on our roadmap is we're going to continue to add more and more intelligence around that GPU management. Something else we had previewed a few months ago relative to that was GPU HA. So being able to build multiple classes of service so that if I have say my researchers doing data science work, right? And then I might also have some production inference applications. If I have a GPU failure, I'm probably going to want to, if I don't have any other available GPUs, I want to claim something being used for research. So what we can do is we can preempt the research workload, take capacity, and then give it back to the inference cluster. So that's something it's not a 9.0, but it's coming. So
what those things cost, being able to keep them 100% busy, but then when there's prioritization requirements, make sure they're delivered. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and the data science tools are built for this. Like Jupyter Notebook, the default checkpoint is 2 minutes. So not a big deal, right? If I get preempted and I lose 2 minutes of work, it's really not the end of the world. So I think the other thing that is a underappreciated, I think just inside us, feature is what we do in automation. Like, we've spent a lot of time talking with customers that have had data science teams working for years. And what they commonly tell us is the time it takes them to go from bringing a model in, like downloading the model, like scanning the model, making sure, or figuring out what is the right combination of the optimized libraries. Is there custom kernels I need? What is the right driver for the accelerator? A good data science team, it's going to take them about 2 weeks to do that. A really good one. And several others we talked to, it takes them months to go through that process. So when we say you can actually do this through a blueprint, through VCF automation, and I can stand up an entire AI workstation, or I can stand up an inference cluster, or whatever it is that the organization needs, we're doing that end to end in less than an hour.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And you're getting the best use of those resources.
Exactly. It's massive value for the customers. And because we're pooling and sharing capacity, we continue to see this validated with our customers. Our TCO delta between a lot of the public cloud alternatives, they are 3 to 5x our cost. 3 to 5x.
Yeah.
Like, it's massive.
And that's expensive, 3 to 5x in this.
It's huge. So if you're and I see this all the time. When I talk to like the head of AI, the chief data officer, whatever their title is, it's always the same thing. I go through everything we're doing with automation, they're like, that's amazing. And then I'm like, well, by the way, you're going to cut your costs 3 to 5x. It would be a disservice, right? It would be criminal to their business to not give us a try.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we reach the chief AI officer, we have gotten a commitment to do POCs with us 100% of the time, because the value is just that undeniable.
It's good to see this isn't just PowerPoint anymore. This is actually happening. So
we got a lot of customers, and it's a great problem to have, and we have a ton of momentum. So I think we'll hit some pretty big milestones come the fall for sure.
Absolutely. This is probably one of the most exciting topics nowadays. I'm looking forward. We always love having you on Virtually Speaking and sharing the information. Chris, thanks so much.
No, thanks again. Appreciate the time.